Hello and good day to everyone that is really tuning in here at the Sphere Rocket Podcast Network. Once again, I'm going to be the host for today's episode. My name is Dwayne, and right now we have yet another exciting episode made extra special by our guest for today. Well, who's our guest for today? I guess I'll give some sort of an introduction to give a brief overview about him. So, first of all, from a corporate VP in mergers and acquisitions to a self-made multi-millionaire. This expert has conquered the industry with over 100 transactions annually and consistently, and have 5,000 properties traded, with a knack of turning rental problems into profits and a passion for teaching through the path to profit system. Well, he's a trailblazer in the real estate world, and I need to mention he has authored 8 books. Can't even imagine myself liking 2 or even 1. So it's going to be an awesome episode for today. And without further ado, we have our guest, Gary. How are you doing today? And nice to have you here.
Thank you, Dwayne. I'm fantastic. I'm doing well. Thank you very much. And I really appreciate the opportunity to be here and share my story and help others.
Yes, more about in the business and helping. But first and foremost, can you, I know I've made quite an intro for you, but I guess you can tell us a bit more about yourself and maybe how you got into the industry.
Sure. Well, just like anybody in life, I've had some good luck and some bad luck. But on the good luck side, one of my lucky breaks was twofold. When I was 8 years old, I loved real estate. I loved houses, looking at houses, drawing houses. Turns out my grandfather used to teach architecture at university. So he taught me how to draw floor plans. And that Christmas, my mother brought me all of the drawing tools, the big board, the T-square, the compasses, everything I needed to draw official, legitimate floor plans. I was only 8 years old. I still draw floor plans today. I have one in my bedroom I'm looking at right now. But in any case, fast forward, I went to college, but I went to study computer science. And it turns out my college freshman year roommate, a guy named Socrates, his dad was a big investor. His dad was a Greek immigrant and was a big investor in Richmond, Virginia. And Sock and I were going to school at Old Dominion down in Tidewater, Virginia. Well, when we graduated, his dad showed us how to buy our first property. He didn't give us money. He never gave us a dime. He didn't give us the fish. He taught us how to fish. And fast forward 10 years later, I started investing a lot more aggressively on my own and was able to retire. About 12 years later, I was able to retire after 5 years of investing from the corporate world. I retired when I was 40. And then I built a brokerage company to serve investors, because I realized in the real estate industry on the residential side, almost none of the agents knew anything about investing. Their brokers weren't teaching them. They had to invest in themselves. And so I thought, well, I'll solve that. So I built the brokerage, and all we did is we trained agents, real estate agents, how to work with real estate investors. Turns out we were the fastest growing brokerage in our state 3 years in a row. So that turned out to be a really good thing. And now what I do is, I merged with EXP, and now I've got a much, much bigger team. We went from a brokerage in one area. Now the production team we're in 38 states. And this is a legitimate contractual legal team. This is not like some people refer to their downline as their team. My downline is much bigger than that. But my team, actual production team, we're in 38 states, over 100 agents. So we did it in 3 years. Just amazing. I could never have done this at any other brokerage. I tried, believe me. I was at one of them and went all the way to the top, and they said, no, you just got to do it our way. And I said, well, I'm sorry, it's not going to work. But in any case, throughout all that, as you might imagine, Dwayne, I was growing quite rapidly. I here in EXP, I grew in the first 2 years more, in fact, 26 times more than I did the entire 8 years where I was before. So I needed help, and I had 4 U.S. employees and a virtual assistant. And I realized about 2 years ago I needed more help, but I didn't want to keep hiring U.S. employees because it's so expensive, and you get all the payroll tax and all these rules and regulations and unemployment and disability. It just goes on and on and on. And I just had a lot of success with Tio is his name. I've been with him for 15 years. He's in the Philippines. So we hired through the company, the Sphere Rocket, 2 more virtual assistants, and they are absolute rock stars. So we're now actually doing better as a business when it comes to onboarding agents and all the social media presence, web development. we're actually doing really quite well, and it's because of the virtual assistants. I'm actually looking at potentially bringing another one on as we speak because we have a certain need for it. And that's what I like about them is I can put an order in. I can say specifically this is what I'm looking for, and Sphere Rocket delivers. Hey, here's 12 candidates. Here's 8 candidates, and I get to interview them and pick the best of the best. It's just an amazing. I wish I knew this. I wish this existed 15 years ago. Unfortunately, it's still new, and I'm one of the lucky beneficiaries of that new model. So I think that's the fast version.
And how it improved over the years. Like 15 years ago, who would have thought you can be working with someone thousands of miles away? And it's good that you're able to have this. And, that's also one of Sphere Rocket's strengths and, helping you cherry pick basically the right kind of candidate, because lots of trust should involve on the person that you're going to be picking, because you're going to be giving him lots of access to a lot of within your company or within your business. And that being said, before you're about to hire a virtual assistant, I'm sure you had a lot of thoughts in place. Like, this is a new kind of employment in terms of that. You're going to be trusting someone overseas. So what made you pull the trigger on getting the VA route?
Well, really, it all started back in 2009 when I'd launched my brokerage, and I had an employee, and then I had 2 employees, and we had more specific needs like web development and social media marketing, and some technical stuff. So somebody had mentioned to me, hey, did you know you can hire a virtual assistant from halfway around the world? Could be India, could be Philippines, could be Brazil, all over the place. I had no idea. So we looked into it, and we did hire one person. His name's Tio. Tio is still with us today. He's making a lot more money now. But it was a wonderful relationship, great service. It's so much easier because I don't have to worry about, and all I do is I pay him once every 2 weeks. Sometimes we pay people once a week, sometimes once a month. With Tio, it's actually, I'm sorry, we pay him once a month now. But once a month, I send him money through an online portal where you pay people from across the world. I used to pay for it, but now I get it for free because I've been with him for so long. And then we since have added 2 more virtual assistants, and that came about because I was at an EXP conference 2 years ago, and I saw a presentation from Sphere Rocket, and I thought, you know what? I'm going to hire virtual assistants, 2 more virtual assistants for our current needs, instead of hiring another U.S.-based employee. So I did. And we brought them in very, very affordable, $3 an hour and $5 an hour. Now they're both making more than that, a lot more. And we're getting ready to give them another raise. But the thing is they're so intelligent, they're highly educated, they speak great English, and they work, we let them work 2 days on their schedule or 3 days on our schedule. We give them holidays, paid vacation, paid holidays. So we treat them very well. We give them Christmas bonuses. But the thing is they're very quick learners. They're very talented and skilled. They have a great work ethic. So we're able to really do as much as we always have, but at much lower cost. I mean, payroll is usually everybody's biggest expense in a business. Now payroll is going to be a minor expense, for me, or it is a minor expense going forward. Just amazing opportunity for anybody who's looking to grow a business, whether you're in real estate or elsewhere. I would highly encourage you to pursue this opportunity, to at least explore it and try it out. And I promise you, you're going to be amazed at how much money you can save, and yet you get wonderful, talented work from these folks. It's just amazing. And they're very pleasant, friendly. We become friends. I know their children's names. It's just, and now in the world of everything being online, like with Zoom, for example, it's even easier. It's very fitting, very appropriate, and very timely the way most industries are going, particularly real estate,
But, that being said, having a successful virtual assistant will not come overnight. It's not just in a snap of finger, just pick the right person. Right. It comes with a lot of training, leadership, maybe a lot of trial and error as well. So what would be your advice for would-be business owners who wanted to hire virtual assistants so they would be able to make it work?
Absolutely. So what we learned early on is when we first brought in Tio, we actually brought in 3 people. And what we did is we gave them each the same assignment. It was basically to write something that we were going to be using for some marketing, basically what we call copy, where they were going to write copy that we would use in our marketing. So they all three got the same exact assignment, and Tio did quite well with it. He did better than the others. And then we did another test a week or two later. We let one person go, and then we kept the other person in Tio and said we did another assignment. Again, Tio rose to the top. So we kept him and hired him. At the time, it was only part-time. And eventually we did hire him full-time. It was worth it. He's very talented. But the lesson for everyone here, I guess if I was to give offer a suggestion, is start small. Just start with one virtual assistant, by the way. Don't hire 6, or just start with one, right? Learn the ropes. Learn how you have to work with them and train them and coach them. You've got to be able to, in plain language, articulate your vision and what your definition of the role for them to play and what actual tasks they're going to be required to do. And then you also start only one task at a time. Don't give them 3 tasks. Give them one task, let them go off and complete the task, come back and either review it and tweak it, modify it, and have them give another task. And eventually they'll be more independent, and you'll eventually have them working full time. So it really is taking it one step at a time, one assignment at a time, and think of like when you build a house, you don't put the roof on right away. You build the footing and the foundation. And then once the foundation is built, then you put in up the framework, the frame of the house. And then finally you put the roof on. Same thing here. Just start with the foundation, get to know them, learn how they think and they speak, how they work, what their strengths are, their weaknesses, and really how they like to communicate. And start with that one person, one task at a time. Then you can add the second person once that first person is up and running, and then eventually add a third or a fourth, whatever your business calls for. That's really the best advice I can give it. And I would encourage everybody to not waver from that. That's what we were taught, and it's absolutely true.
I guess people would be intimidated, but why waste some time, a few months to train someone? But having a VA is a lot more affordable, as you mentioned, $3-5 compared to having someone in-house locally. But of course, we're not disrespecting people working in office, but it's a lot. You can afford to make mistakes when it comes to having a VA until you find the right kind of formula. And that being said, in a scale of 1 to 10, Gary, how much do you think that VA leveraged your business, and what makes it that number?
Oh my gosh! Well, I'm actually getting ready to relieve my final 2 U.S. employees. I already given them notice, but what I do is I give people 3 months notice. So we're going to be working strictly with the virtual assistants. So when I include the 2 U.S. employees that I let go 2 years ago, and the 2 I'm getting ready to let go, it's a savings of over $200,000 a year. I mean, honestly, my payroll with the virtual assistants is going to be about, I think it's going to be, let's see, 1, 2, 3, about $36,000 a year, and that's it. Where it used to be,
that's barely something to pay someone locally in a year.
No. Yep. And a couple of years ago, when I had 4 U.S. employees, payroll was, I can't even remember, probably, let's see, 136, 80, 215, about $250,000 a year. So I've gone from $250,000 a year in payroll down to $36,000 in payroll. That is a major, major positive impact to the bottom line.
Exactly. And this is not exploiting people. They're getting paid more than what they would usually get paid in their local area. So in a way, you're also helping people get more opportunities for their talents across the globe. So that's one of the amazing things of having a VA. And that being said, we've talked about VAs and how you got into the business. Now let's talk about the services you provide and the properties you sell. So can you share us more on what's the best way to see your listings or get in touch with you?
Yeah. Well, what I do is I run a large national team. It's called the Global Investor Agent Team. And we serve the general population, people looking to buy and sell their own homes. One of our websites it's realestatewithgarywilson.com. So it's all contiguous, realestatewithgarywilson.com. That's for the public to see. Agents can see it too, obviously, and agents and consumers both. And then the other website is called globalinvestoragent.com. And that's actually for consumers too, to find agents in their marketplace. But it really is for the agents that are to see what we're all about. And we have people applying to be agents on our team weekly, every multiple people every week. We don't take everybody, and it's not like you have to be the best or the sharpest or the whatever. You just have to have it has to be a match. I mean, you should have an interest in investing in real estate. Not a requirement, but it sure would be nice if you had an interest in investing in real estate, because we work with a lot of investors. We have an entire platform separate from what we get from EXP that's just for investors. And training, coaching, everything that we take our agents on our team. They don't pay out of pocket for the coaching and training like the consumers do. It comes out of their commission. It's just the minimum 20 or 25%, like a referral fee, and it's not even a permanent split. So you can go to either website. If you're an agent, definitely go to the globalinvestoragent.com website, and down below you can leave your name and email, and we'll set up a call with you just to do an interview. You can check us out, we'll check you out, and if it looks like a match, we can have more conversations. If not, hey, at least we did it the respectful, professional way instead of just assuming or guessing. But really, our marketplace. We're in 38 states now and growing, and we've done business in Canada, Mexico, India. We have clients in 13 countries regularly doing business with us all over, mainly the U.S. So we're really well positioned. I mean, I know everybody's complaining about volume right now. Our volume's down a little bit, but we're still out producing the national average by more than 2 to 1. Most people are saying their volume's down 40% from last year. Ours isn't nearly that much. We're doing pretty good, So it's great because an agent on our team can put on their traditional agent hat when they're working with people looking to buy and sell their own homes, or they can put on their investor agent hat to go work with investors. And we've got unique marketing, calculators, spreadsheets. We have tools outside the MLS that allow us to locate properties on and off market, which is a big deal. And we work with residential and commercial. We work with people flipping homes and buying duplexes. We work with people doing major land development deals, So it just depends on what your niche is. People can come in, we interview them, so we find out where they fit. And then from there, we can teach them and coach them to go into a different part of their business. But ultimately, we want them to have two parts of the model: traditional owner-occupant model and investor model. When the two work together, they will never be short of transactions. You always will have transactions coming in when you have a model that allows you to serve both clients. So, yeah.
More than a one-stop shop for everything, not just real estate related, but real estate agents related to coaching them and training them to be the best agent that they can be. And that being said, I guess my last question for you before we end the podcast: you've already retired at 40, and you're still working, you're still grinding. So it has to be more than just the money that's giving you, making you strive harder. So what makes you push beyond the money, your career?
I love teaching. I love coaching. It's what I was born to do. And what I'm really finding out now, Dwayne, is this: I've reached another level in my life, which is we still bring in individual solo agents. But I now have 4 people that I can rely on to coach them, which allows me to coach the actual leaders. So I'm helping, right now, 6 people build and grow their own teams, their own brands, their own models. And that is an amazing feeling when you help somebody else realize their dream. That I call that my mojo. I still get excited today, just like I did years ago. I never lose any steam. But the thing that I really realize is I'm not the hero anymore. I'm the guide. So in fact, on my team, my name's not even on the team. In fact, none of the listings or sales go in the team name. They all go in the agent's names, right? All the leads go in their names on their own databases. It's just an amazing model. We give them their own account on our lead generating system. They get all the leads they want. There's no shortage of them. But what's really happening is I've now become the guide, and I'm making them the hero in their marketplaces. That is an amazing feeling. When you help people succeed, you can't put a price tag on that,
Paving the way for the new generation. And what they mentioned, material things, when you buy it, the happiness will eventually go away. But if you made someone happy, you help someone, it goes generational away. Oh, I helped this guy, and then he's gonna remember, this guy changed my life. That kind of That's the kind of happiness that really goes a long way. So Gary, it has been an amazing episode with you, and thank you so much for being here with us. And if you wanted to give a shout out to anyone, or if you wanted to promote anything, feel free to do so now too.
Yeah, well, I just want to say thanks to Sphere Rocket and also EXP, because I'm not knocking the other brokerages. I used to teach for them. I've been a member of them, and they all have great things. Every brokerage has something they're good at, something they're proud of, and that's why they're here. But this model is called an organization model. It allows us to thrive without barriers. We can grow so much more rapidly. And big box, what we call big box or franchise models, you're restricted by the franchise model. You can only go so high. You can only operate in your own marketplace. If you try to operate in other marketplaces, you got to pay those people too. Well, here we don't have those barriers. We can operate in 38 states. I only pay once. I don't have to pay all these other regions and other states and other offices, because it doesn't exist. So it allows entrepreneurs, business-minded people, to grow so much more quickly and grow so much further and so much faster. It's just an amazing. That's why we're growing. We've got 90,000 agents. I mean, it's the fastest growing brokerage in the world, and we're winning all kinds of awards, and that's why. So I'm just so pleased and proud to be here. I wish I'd have done it sooner.
Those are crazy numbers, and definitely, if you're interested, if you mention the website, we'll link it down in the description as well if you wanted to check out Gary Reel's services and his website as well. And there you have it, guys, and that is our episode for today. Gary, thank you once again, and hopefully for all the listeners, we'll see you again in the next episode at the Sphere Rocket Podcast Network. Goodbye, everyone.
Feeling overwhelmed by your business tasks? Well, it's time to step up your game. Visit www.sphererocketva.com and get a virtual assistant from us at Sphere Rocket VA. Streamline your business operations and focus on what really matters.